What is up, boys? Game 1, round 2 in the books. Rangers, Hurricanes. Rangers win 4-3. We got Coach Ed and Little Ed on the ground in Penn Station. What is up, fellas? You're muted.
Yeah, I can't figure out my headphones right now, so give us a second.
No worries. Nikki Bloggs has joined us too from BroadwayBreakdown.com. Make sure you check out Nikki on BroadwayBreakdown.com. What is up, Nikki? How you doing?
I'm feeling good after a Game 1 win because that's how we're feeling right now. I have to say we were watching on the phone at a graduation party, so we were stressing out together, myself and Bree and a couple others, but big to be one up.
Absolutely. We're back. We're good with the headphones.
Great game overall. The team is focused. They made a lot of really good plays. Carolina got a couple of garbage goals, but for the most part, I thought they shut them down. How did it look on TV?
Oh my God, dude! I don't know. I had a bourbon tasting about a month ago, and I'm gonna run out of bourbon by the end of this playoffs. Even though I got like 7 bottles, it's just like this is too much. I can't keep up. I can't imagine being at the game. What was the atmosphere like from puck drop, Little Ed?
It was absolutely electric tonight. Everyone was firing at all cylinders. It got a little quiet at the start of the third because everyone was very confident. But then as soon as Carolina scored, it kind of ramped back up the energy in the Garden. Every goal was phenomenal. Whenever Rempe touches the ice, whenever D'Angelo touches the puck, they're on him. So yeah, overall, just an electric atmosphere. Brancy obviously bringing the house down as always with the national anthem, and in between periods singing the Sinatra. So he's just a class act all around. And yeah, the Garden's just something else. They added a lot of light shows and different things throughout the game. So they had some things in their back pocket come playoff time.
Nikki, you look great, Mikey G says. You look great, buddy.
What about framing the shot up and getting some headroom?
Where's Mikey G? Why isn't Mikey G on here with us? He's gearing up for Game 7?
I don't know. I don't know. He said last minute he couldn't make it. I guess he went out with the wife, Mrs. 150. Right. So he looks great, though.
Where did they go out? What do they do up there? There's nowhere to go
out. They're going diving with some sharks. Dinner with the in-laws, he says.
A nighttime dive?
Little nighttime dive.
Anyway, guys, from the train ride in, the bar before the game, just a great atmosphere here. It's so exciting. Yeah. All pumped up. We hooked up with our boy Oscar sitting right behind us. We're hanging out with him for 2 periods.
Great job. Nice.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Coach, I want to bring up Gaza's comment early. Gaza with a real comment and not just a joke this time. 10 minutes without a shot attempt in the third after the final goal until the final minute. Do you think the Rangers turtled a little too much at the end of this game after the Panarin goal?
No, I think we were watching and we kept saying to each other they were trying to be too fancy at that point. The third and fourth line was doing great cycling the puck, but Panarin, as a manager, a little too unselfish with the puck at times. Could have kept the puck deep and kept the momentum going a little bit. But other than that, I mean, no shots doesn't mean they didn't have shot attempts and they didn't control the game. I wasn't really nervous at all until they got that third goal, and it got a little scary, but I thought the Rangers just locked them down. Carolina looked frustrated.
I feel like Vince Vaughn and what's his name in the internship when they're doing the joint interview and what?
Hold on. So, Coach, we got a comment from Carl VQ12. You may know him as.
Come on, Carl.
Carl says, "Coach, will you take your shirt off at all?" Question mark.
You want me to take my shirt off?
Yeah, he wants
to see that.
He wants your shirt off, Coach.
if they sweep Carolina, the shirt comes off.
All right.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, that's
all right, nice.
I sent Paul a picture of me with no shirt on 30 years ago.
Nikki, so in the preview, Nikki, you weren't there, but we talked about X factors in the series, and Mikey 150, who's not here tonight, talked about Mika Zibanejad needing to produce 5-on-5 in this series, and he came through with an early goal, 5-on-5. He did score a power play goal as well, 2 goals in the game and an assist. He's up to 10 points in 5 playoff games. Tell me a little bit about Mika Zibanejad in this game. I mean, I thought he was awesome. Even at the end, fighting for that puck, almost scoring the hat trick on that empty netter. He played a great game.
You can tell that Mika is extra determined right now to come through more than ever. I mean, I thought he had just a fine regular season by his standards. It certainly wasn't the explosive Mika we're used to, but playoff Mika right now is him at his absolute best. He's involved in all 3 zones. He's winning key draws. He's playing defense. He looks so patient and so confident in his game all of a sudden offensively. I think that's the biggest standout right now. I'd like to see him, be even more, to Coach's point, a little more selfish and keep shooting. He's on a breakaway. He doesn't pull the trigger there in the first period. Could have blown the game wide open right then and there. But overall, he's been terrific, and all the big guns have. It's making the life easier for all the guys lower in the lineup.
Guys, how good did that first goal look?
The power play one?
How good did that first goal look? I jumped out of the seat when the pass was made. It was just unbelievable. And the second goal, too, another great passing play, right?
Razovic with his speed, what a play. I mean, that kid, look, he's not an all-star. I mean, let's not get it twisted, but he's got such speed, and, that is so important on this team where we really lack speed, I think, generally. He really makes a difference, and he just created that play out of nothing, and Mika just finding that open ice. That was a beautiful goal.
I mean, we talked about it last night, but Carolina's defense struggled big time on the forecheck. It's only one game, but they struggled big time. I think they lost a lot of confidence very often in that game.
Yeah, and we got Ryan Farrell saying Rosie needs to be re-signed. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Let's see what he demands in his contract. Let's see what he demands, but it's a good pickup for the end of the season, going into the playoffs. He's played well, and that line was buzzing tonight, 5-on-5.
We talked about it. Drury was going to go after the guys that he thought that they were going to fit. I mean, at first it took Rosie a little bit of time to get settled in, I think, under the Garden Lights, and it looks like he's really enjoying himself as far as that goes now. So he's buying into it. He's skating hard. He's not just trying to dangle all the time. And like we just said, the forecheck, every line is forechecking hard. Vasovic is using his speed. He's not throwing the big hit, but he's just on the defenseman. He's making them force the puck in a way that they don't want to force. Little things like that make a huge difference. I tell our players all the time, we're not looking for you guys to throw the big hit, but you got to get in there. You got to get into the corners and stuff like that.
Pressure on.
Yeah, I don't care how small or how big you are. You got to get into those corners.
He's such a north-south player, and he makes those incisive, kind of charging runs up the ice at people. I think he just makes a defenseman think. They all do when they play like this. I mean, this has been, Laviolette-centric changes this season, right? It's that more direct approach offensively. And, even when they kind of turtled it a little bit there at the end, I still thought they were at least moving their feet, trying to make something happen. They just approach these games so much differently. They don't look rattled.
No. They're very calm and poised with their passing in all 3 zones.
I mean, this game, it should not have been a 4-3 game. I think Coach Ed and I can both agree. From our perspective at the game, the Rangers dominated a large majority of that game. I mean, a few mistakes, a few bad bounces. But otherwise, I mean, that could have easily been a 4-1 game. And I don't want to be too confident, but they're playing some phenomenal hockey. They're picking each other up. They're supporting the puck. Good puck management for the most part. Wenberg is low-key probably our best defensive forward. That guy.
He's terrific.
He is unbelievable, man.
I really like Wenberg.
Phenomenal game.
Wenberg is
I really like him.
I think I said it last episode or the one before that. He very rarely does he make a bad decision with the puck. He's on the guys in the defensive zone. He's in the high slot, in the forecheck. It's just he's just some money. Just can't say anything better for him.
Let's get there in a second. Before we do, we got more comments on the Instagram. Mika, again, not recognized for the Selkie. That's BPH18. I really thought this is. I feel like Zibanejad just took a nap for the whole season, cruised to 70 points and just chilled. And now this is this is Mika Zibanejad. I mean,
Let's hope so. It's only one game, but let's hope so. He looks like he's on fire.
Well,
He
the
was
first
physical.
series also.
He was physical, you know. I mean, he was hitting. He was taking hits. He was creating plays. He looked dynamic out there. Back checking. Outstanding game from Mika Zibanejad. And yeah, he should be in the Selke conversation every season. Let's
shout out that coaching staff also. I thought they had the right guys out there at a lot of right times. 2 centers when they needed it for draws. Like we talked about, Rempe didn't play most of the third period, if at all. He had Trocheck on the wing with Goodrow. Just a well-managed game and a well-fought game. I thought the coaching staff did a great job.
And on the other side of the ice, our boy D'Angelo was riding pine for most of the second period.
Yeah. D'Angelo.
It's a huge loss for them to not have Pesci. I mean, he is the yin to Slavin's yang. If they don't have him, they're in it's a much different look. And I don't understand why everyone fawns all over Shea, because I think he looks very easily beaten.
We got some fans over here in Penn Station.
Let's go, boys. Yeah, let's go. Look, Brady Shea. I love that. Yeah. Big fan over there. So, look, Brady Shea, he played pretty well, I thought. Honestly, he's more physical than I remember him on the Rangers. I thought he played a good game, but D'Angelo, I just love that he took that penalty. PK Subban, you guys didn't see it, but he pretty much said that was a clean hit in between periods, and Messier trolled him, but I didn't think it was a clean hit. He was a high hit. He doesn't impress me anymore. I mean, he just hasn't developed properly, and I don't know. I think the Rangers take an edge with Pesci out of the lineup. It's a big edge, especially on that third line. We were talking about it briefly. Wenberg, we got a comment here on the Instagram, about the third line and how the Rangers are getting to the puck first on the dump-ins and on the retrievals. And it's, on the forecheck, get to the puck first. On the retrievals, get it first, get it out, make a clean play. I thought all night it was like that. And that's how they got to play to beat Carolina, because they're fast.
Well, the biggest thing is what we saw, what I'm seeing is the biggest, even if they lose that initial battle, there's always the second Ranger there to support the puck and to support their teammate or whatever the case may be, So if they might be losing that first initial battle, but it's very rare that they're losing the second or the third battle that comes right after that. So the puck support all around has been phenomenal, and that, like Coach Ed just said, that comes from the coaching and what they've been working on in practice and just their mentalities going in. But yeah, like you said, a lot of the times they're the first man on the puck. Very rarely they're the second man. If not, it's a tie. I mean, there was a few icings that I noticed that could have been waved off, in my opinion, our opinion. But yeah, I mean, they're all over the ice. They look phenomenal.
And getting back to the Trocheck situation, knowing Carolina, I think those first 2 goals with that passing was directly related to him telling the team, let's say, how Carolina over pursues to one side. They made those 2 passes to the goal line.
Yeah.
Like they knew that area would be open and it was filled by someone and the play was made. I'm going to guess that was a direct result of that. The over pursuit to one side.
They're an extra aggressive team. If you make good, firm plays on the puck and support it properly, like you were saying, Little Ed, you make all the difference in the world in all 3 zones. The Rangers' ability to break out cleanly today and beat the Carolina forecheck was huge too. They're exiting the zone smoothly, and then, like you said, Coach, the pre-scout and the game plan that this staff does, it makes the difference there.
Like we said, it's early though. We got 1. We got to keep pushing.
Yeah, and we got some comments from the Instagram. One guy I feel bad for is Brodzinski. He busted his ass all year, and now he's one of the Black Aces. Stay ready, Johnny. Interesting comment from John Scherzinger, our fan from Arizona. Definitely true. I mean, Brodzinski had a hell of a season. He really earned his NHL ice this year, but Rempe just brings a different element to the team. We got Coach Ed and Little Ed with some technical difficulties there in Penn Station, creating some. Whenever there's Coach Ed involved, there's technical difficulties. I mean, these guys, give him a break. He's old. It's okay. He's got it though.
Too
Little
old.
Ed,
I'm old.
Johnny Brodzinski. I mean, the guy played his ass off all year, and he's sitting on the bench. A fan, John Scherzinger, he's noticing he feels bad for him being a black ace, but he's ready to step in if needed.
I mean, I'm not going to say. I think they should maybe give him a shot and take Rempe out for a game or two. I wouldn't be disappointed if they did in Carolina, not to punish Rempe or anything, just to give him some reps in case they need him later.
But Nikki, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because Rempe, I thought he played a good game. He's physical, whatever. I didn't think that was a penalty in front of the net on that goalie interference.
Horrible call.
Yeah.
Terrible call by the refs. He was pushed into the goalie by Stahl. The Carolina gets a power play. They don't score. But it's just a terrible call. But if that's not Rempe, if that's Brodzinski, it's not called. I really believe that, right? So do you think there's some value in that? Do you think the Rangers need to consider drawing Hedl or Brodzinski in for Rempe next game to try to mitigate that?
I think if you're going to make the change is for Brodzinski, given the role, given the responsibilities on the fourth line and the way that you want him to play. I think Hedl's really kind of a decoy / a morale booster right now. I think they're holding that in the chamber in case they really get desperate. But Rempe hasn't done anything wrong yet, and he scored. And I'm someone who's a little leery of playing him this time of year. Am I opposed to making a swap? No. But I thought a good point was made pre-series, and this is nothing against Brodzinski. I thought he had a terrific season, but I thought, we're talking about, we're splitting hairs here about people that are going to play 6 to 8 minutes a night. I don't think it's worth losing a lot of sleep over whether it's Brodzinski or Rempe. At least right now, we're up a game. You let it ride for now, and I think if you feel like you need that more veteran poised approach on the road, to Coach's point, when we go to Raleigh, maybe Brodzinski makes more sense in the road game.
You're muted,
I think that makes sense. I think Brodzinski, coach, he really played a strong defensive game for the Rangers for a few weeks leading into the playoffs, and Rempe just kind of brings that energy to the crowd. I mean, what did you guys notice at the Garden that Rempe brings that maybe Brodzinski wouldn't, that makes it worth it to play him?
It definitely fires them up at the beginning of the game. His first shift on the ice, the crowd notices exactly when he's out there. When he's forechecking, they notice the crowd is cheering constantly. If anything, he's going to be that, as my father used to say, the guy that used to come out and stop the losing streak. So if say Carolina takes a lead, you put him out there, it's going to fire the crowd up right away, give some momentum back to the Rangers possibly. So as far as that goes at home, I agree with Nick that may be the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's no secret. Like, it's not like Winnipeg. It's not like some of these stadiums where we see the people on their feet the entire game. The Ranger fans, I mean, I don't want to say it's not really like warm weather fans or whatever, but like when things are going really well, we're really loud. When things aren't going so well, you can hear a pin drop. So you throw Rempe out there on the ice when things aren't going so well, everyone's going to start cheering again right off the bat. So it's just something good to have in your back pocket. But like Coach had said, maybe a game in Carolina where it won't matter as much, but at the same time, there's going to be a shit ton of Ranger fans in Carolina.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think the Rangers are going to kind of take over PNC. I think the lower bowl of PNC will be Carolina fans for sure. But we got Paul, our loyal viewer here, chiming in. Rangers did a great job of their physicality against the Hurricanes. I don't want them to lose that if they take Rempe out of the lineup. I think that's a good point. I really felt like the Rangers bullied the Hurricanes a little bit. I kept hearing comments like, oh, the Hurricanes are off their game. They're not forechecking like they usually do, etc. But I really think the Rangers' physicality against the Hurricanes was a big reason for that. It wasn't just Carolina didn't play well. The Rangers really made that happen. Right, Little Ed?
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Absolutely. The Hurricanes defense was shaking in their boots a little bit. And I think the Hurricanes forwards were a little nervous to go in on the Rangers D in our corners or in their corners. So even if Carolina's dumping the puck in, like the Rangers were doing, getting to the puck first, I think the Carolina forwards are a little hesitant going into Trooper's corner to get that puck. I mean, there was a lot of good reverse hits being thrown by the Rangers D, and Carolina players were ended up on their ass. So it goes both ways. You don't want to go into the other team's corner, and the defensemen don't want the Rangers in their corner right now. So, yeah, like you said, the physicality, the Rangers, we said it last episode, they're able to play a lot of different styles of hockey, and they're bringing them all together kind of at the same time right now. And, yeah, really good to see. They're buzzing. They're buzzing.
Yeah, Nikki, we got a comment here from Legend in the Mist on YouTube. I'd like to see the Rangers even up the time in zone a bit. Getting doubled up is not sustainable. What are your thoughts on that? I don't feel like that was really the feeling in watching the game, but it ended up being that way. Is this just another analytics kind of miscue, or is this something the Rangers need to shore up as the series goes on?
I think the funny thing is when you play Carolina, you kind of expect the time of possession to go this way and the shot attempts as well. You look at a lot of the things they did against the Islanders. They struggled in their own zone in the 5 games. They gave up an awful lot of goals and an awful lot of high-quality chances to a team that doesn't have a lot of firepower. And that was without letting the Islanders have the puck very often. The Canes are an analytical darling, with good reason, because they're a very good team, but they shoot the puck from everywhere. They like a low percentage shot to create a little chaos and some havoc. And they run around and they play a very aggressive game. But, I mean, the second period, early third, especially at 4-2, it didn't feel like they were all that threatening. The Rangers are very organized, very structured. This is so much different from the Hurricanes overloading and having the puck a lot against the Gallant-coached Rangers, who were a little more flying by the seat of their pants and begging Igor to make, these crazy saves and these crazy sequences, 5 and 6 rebounds and pucks not getting clear. The Rangers it's one shot from the outside, pick it up and pop it out of the zone.
Yeah, and let's get this out of the way before we start talking about some of the underappreciated players in the game, because I'm sure Coach Ed is chomping at the bit to talk about Braden Schneider, who had a hell of a game. Artemi Panarin, with that 4th goal, he just kind of powered that shot through Anderson there to give the Rangers a 4-2 lead at a time they really needed it, and it ended up being the game-winning goal. I just want to kill this narrative that Panarin can't perform in the playoffs, and I was so happy when he scored that goal. I mean, Little Ed, what was the feeling at MSG when Panarin just pushed that goal right through Anderson, man?
He was coming down the wing, and I gave Coach Ed an elbow. I was like, come on, he's got to snap. Yeah! It was just like, it wasn't the best shot, but it was the right shot. It just trickled in. And, I mean, like I said in the preview, man, Freddie Anderson does not scare me. Get pucks on net. There's a little bit of a head case. I think he'll lose his focus. Got to get guys in front of him, get Rempe in front of him, and just keep firing the puck. And he's going to keep letting those weak ones in.
Yeah, Nikki,
we're heading to our train right now, fellas, so I'm going to mute myself for a minute.
No, you're good. You're good. Nikki, I mean, that Panarin goal, like, it was 3-2. Carolina comes back within a goal. There's like 10 minutes left in the game. I forgot what time exactly it was, but Panarin comes in 2-on-1, and he had a couple of chances in the game that he just didn't finish. And, 120 points on the year, and you hear it all the time. Oh, he had 0 goals last year. I just want to kill that narrative. I want it dead. And that's a big goal, game 1. Mm-hmm. Get that 4th goal, make it a 4-2 game, protect against an empty net goal like Carolina got, and made it a 4-3 win. I mean, Panarin, the game winner. What can we say?
Yeah, it's a huge goal, and you see him out there. I mean, I think right now, because you and I said it after they finished off the Caps, I think that just playing so free and easy right now. Panarin, it looks like the weight's off his shoulders. He looks really comfortable, and he's out there just creating chances, creating some havoc. He almost gets an assist 2 or 3 shifts earlier because he and his line mates get Lafreniere open, who hits the crossbar off a really good look at the net. He's just, he's involved in everything right now, and he's playing really direct. That's the biggest difference in his game this postseason versus last postseason. He's not pulling up from the perimeter. He's not shooting from the half wall. He is just playing direct and shooting the puck and getting it on goal. And to Little Ed's point, Frederick Anderson, he's a fine goaltender, but he's not very scary. He's not a daunting prospect to face. He's still got that Toronto Maple Leaf in him.
Yeah, and we got a comment here from John Scherzinger, again, a big fan of the pod. Best podcast for Rangers hockey. I tell Rangers fans in Arizona to follow. Thank you, John, for that. I appreciate that. Look, we really try to bring you guys unbiased content. It's difficult, but we got Kathy Stein. Just a little disappointed Mika didn't get an unnatty Hattie. He should have had that in the first with that little. He was wide open in front, and he just dished it unselfishly to Panarin with that back pass. He was covered and obviously didn't score. He should have just buried that 5-hole. The 5 open. I watched the replay a few times. Oh man, just difficult to watch. But he's been like that all year. Unselfish player, Zibanejad. You really hope that he just it just buries that. Just bury that, dude. Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals, I do not want Zibanejad dishing that back to Panarin. It's fine. It's fine here, but not in Game 7 of a big game. But
yeah, you could see him on the bench. He was mad at himself. I think he knew that he overthought that one.
Yeah, and Kevin, my friend Kevin Shields, he says, I think his balance was off on the play. He texted me during the game.
That puck bounced on him, too.
Was a little bit off kilter. He thought that's why he didn't shoot it, but still, he was all alone within 10 feet of the net. You want him to shoot that. Anyway, Nick, a big fan of the Broadway Breakdown blog. Mike Sheeran, shout out to my guy Nick. Check out Broadway Breakdown. Good job, guys. Yeah, Broadway Breakdown is great. It's not just Rangers. It's Knicks. It's Mets. It's Yankees, around the horn, all of baseball. I'm a big fantasy baseball guy. I check that blog out all the time for news on around the league stuff. I made some ad drops based on what Nikki said. So check him out, BroadwayBreakdown.com. No, I'm big fantasy baseball, guys. I got 3 leagues. It's a lot.
How do you have time?
And listen, in the mornings I check it. My wife is like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Hold up, like I need a few minutes. I got to add drop. I got to do my thing, So it's a lot, but yeah, Nikki helps out with that, makes it easier. Anyway, yeah, Ryan Farrell, he doesn't. He's right. I do not have the time, but I still do it. Good call on that. All right, let's talk about some unsung heroes. Coach Braden Schneider, your boy. You didn't wear the jersey. You got the Rempe Rides at Dawn shirt. Show it off. I want to see it, guys. This Rempe Rides at Dawn shirt is fire. I mean,
it's a hot item.
It is going fast. You guys, I'm telling you, I don't even know. Little Ed, is it even available anymore?
It's always available. I'm a little bit on hold behind on orders, but I got 6 shirts to press, and then the next round of orders will be going out. So,
you got to fix your mic, buddy. You got to fix your mic. I don't know. I can't really hear you, but yeah, he's a little behind on orders, but we're still available if you want the Rempe Rides at Dawn shirt. Show it again, Coach. I want to see it on Coach. Even if you got that beer belly, it still looks good, like Coach said. You can still show it off.
Very accommodating.
And we will be promoting these on the Broadway Breakdown very soon. We're in the final stages of some mock-ups, so everyone stay tuned on that. We're going to have some new things to share in the next few days.
We got a lot more looks at the garden. We got a lot more looks at the garden this time.
Yes.
You got to check that. You got to check that out. The Empire State Building. I mean, look, this kid is he's taking New York by storm. Legends in the Mist with the comment, the Empire State Building for sure. But let's talk about some unsung heroes. Coach, your boy, Braden Schneider. All game, I kept saying, what a play by Schneider. Oh, wow, what a poke. Oh, man, good body. All game, just Schneider. What a game by Braden Schneider. I mean, he stands out to me among all.
I told you 40 games ago, lock him up. Make the deal now.
Absolutely.
Give him a 10-year contract. I don't care. The CBA only allows an 8-year deal. But give him 10.
As Laviolette
10 by
says,
10.
checks all boxes.
Lock him up.
Stick position, hitting,
physicality, passing out of the zone, patience, checks it
So
all.
much,
23
coach.
years
At the
old.
the poke at the blue line, the physicality in the corner, the positioning in front. I mean, this kid just makes Keandre Miller 100 times better. I mean, just the shift to Miller to Schneider and Gustafson to Truba. I mean, I feel like that has
Big
changed
time.
the complexion of this team. What a
Big
read
time.
by the
It
coaching
worked out
staff.
for everyone.
Yep.
Makes Truba a better player too, I think.
All
What a
four
read
better.
Yeah, what a read by the coaching staff, right? I mean,
Mhm.
just Miller looks like he's competent. Am I crazy?
No, it's a big difference.
And Schneider just is the reason I really honed in on him. You know, look, playoff hockey. I'm standing up. I'm right in front of the TV. I'm grilling every single play. You don't watch the game like that in the regular season, but you really see it with Braden Schneider. And I mean, coach, just live. Go ahead, give him some props. Go ahead.
I love it. I mean, like you said, all game, you're like, look at that little hit by Schneider, little bump, little this, little that, fighting for the puck, making a little reverse touch pass behind the net when pressure's coming in his face. It just goes on and on. All little things in the game.
Ryan says give him a 6-year deal at $4 million. Yeah, I don't think he'll sign that. That would be lovely.
Give him five and a half. Give it to him.
Yeah, I think five and a half.
If the Islanders are signing Wallstrom for like 7 or whatever number, whoever that was, Mayfair, whatever it was, you got to give Schneider a lot.
Yeah, and Kevin says Wenberg had a good game for sure. Wenberg with the D. You know, he really is just such a smart player. Another comment, Gaza with the jokes says someone been feeding Miller some Weetabix recently. Oh God, I can't keep up with Gaza's comments. I just want to post them all.
He's got a lot of time in his hands.
So, what did you think about Mika being lined up with Stahl? Mikey P in the group chat questioned it early in the game, and obviously Zibanejad scored after like 30 seconds after he sent that text. But Mika lined up with Jordan Stahl's line and Trocheck against Aho. What did you guys think of that? And do you think that's something we'll see all series at home? Do you think Brindamore will change that up? What's your read on that play?
I mean, Stahl's a big boy. You can just see physically he outmuscles almost everybody on the ice. And Mika stood up to him. I think Pride's got in his way a few times. They did a lot of that work I was talking about with the setting picks.
So if you're on the show, good job.
Ooh, the LIRR freeze.
The LIRR freeze, you know, that's a common thing. Obviously, if you live in New York, you're familiar with the Long Island Railroad freeze, so they're frozen. Nikki, I mean, you saw Jordan Stahl. He is a big boy. That third line is difficult. It's a good defensive line, and it's kind of interesting at 5-on-5 to go with Zibanejad against that line willingly, knowing that how much they struggled 5-on-5, but I felt like they got the better of the Stahl line in this game.
Yeah, you know, I think it's a little bit less about the offensive production that you want from Kreider and Zibanejad 5-on-5 in that matchup, and more how responsible the two of them are, and Roslovic can be when he's playing the right way. So I think in the D zone, cuz it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, Mika, you know, if he's going to win draws and he's going to play the way he did in his own zone, it's going to lead to offense on its own. And you know, I mean, it makes a difference there. Stahl's had a terrific career. It's funny he's hung on so long, and I think you don't think about him a lot, but you know, he makes that difference defensively for the Canes in all situations. But Mika can match up with him in that regard, and I think there's a little bit of a difference there with the speed. I think Laviolette wants to exploit that speed matchup. You talked about Roslovic, his straight line north-south game, and Mika as well, you know, moving his feet. Kreider can turn him and burn him. So I see where he's going with it. I was a little surprised myself, but I see where he's going with it.
Yeah, and we got a comment on the Instagram from CC8 Cars 1968NY. Mika, a big boy. Don't let the Swede fool you. He is a big boy for sure.
Yes.
No, he is. I mean, he's a big boy, but he doesn't play that way. Right, Nikki? I mean, all season we see Zibanejad kind of shy away from contact. He doesn't really forecheck with authority. Tonight, just a different Mika Zibanejad. I mean, I saw a fan earlier, I forgot who it was, post, Zibanejad had his first child this year. Obviously, that plays an impact, and we saw that with Shesterkin last year. We see that with a lot of players when they have a kid, they kind of struggle. It's a big change in your life to have a child. I don't have any yet, but it is a big change, and I think we can all acknowledge that. But Zibanejad really stepping up here in these 5 games, and tonight he was the difference maker in this game. I mean, we talked about it earlier, but we got to reiterate it. Zibanejad is the number 1 star of this game.
Yeah, and he had a terrific series against Washington too. I mean, this has been constant for him since these playoffs began. It's pretty much the dream start you wanted for him to this postseason. It's gotten his game going. It's gotten him feeling confident. It's helped his line mates. Kreider's been very involved. He scored the one of the big goals early in the series against Washington to put that away, and then from there you've seen him assist a lot. I mean, the no-look pass today was another example of it. But Zibanejad, you want him to raise his level, and I think it's pretty simple with this group right now. They want this year. You heard Panarin say it when the playoffs started. We have to win the Stanley Cup this year. This group is as highly motivated as they come. They believe in what this coach is having them do. They asked for it. They asked for it last summer. They wanted someone to come in and coach them harder. And they've responded to it. They deserve immense credit for it.
For sure, man. And we got a huge week in New York. I mean, guys, if you didn't see the schedule, Rangers tonight with a big win at the Garden. Knicks tomorrow night at the Garden. Rangers on Tuesday at the Garden. Knicks Wednesday and Wednesday at the Garden. Then on the road, Rangers Thursday, Knicks Friday, Rangers Saturday, Knicks. I mean, wow, what a time for New York sports. It kind of reminds you a little bit of 1994, just a little bit. It's been a while since both the Knicks and the Rangers have been competitive like this in a series. And look, don't get it twisted. This is just game 1, Nikki. I mean, it's game 1. Big win for the Rangers. They held on. I was very nervous with 2 minutes to go. I was sitting down like this. That Svechnikov penalty at the end, big penalty. I mean, 6-on-4, the trip on Lindgren, huge call, good call by the refs. It was a trip, and good for them for calling that because they could have just let it go. But I was dying,
Yeah.
And it's one game. You got to win game 2, got to hold home ice. But this is an exciting time for New York sports. For your blog, which covers all of New York sports, for all you out there who like any other New York teams, check out Nikki's blog. I don't want to promote it too much, but check it out. You got to be excited right now to cover these teams.
It is a gold mine of content right now because we're feeling really good right now with everything going on. I mean, and I'm one for superstition. So you mentioned all these omens about 94. You want one more for you Yankee fans out there that might be watching, if there are any. Yesterday, Aaron Judge was ejected from the game. He was the first Yankee captain to be ejected from a game since May of 1994. These things, they keep coming up. But right now, to your point, it's a fun time. The Mets have gotten off to a decent start. I know they're on sub 500 right now, but they've gotten off to a pretty decent start. The Yanks are rolling. They're 10 over. The Houston Astros are coming to town, which should make for some good chaos and drama at the big ballpark in the Bronx this week. And you've got, Rangers and Knicks playoffs every night. This Knicks team and Rangers team are both, they're such likable groups. They're such good guys. You want to root for them. You're all in on them. But I just ask them, I'm not even asking because I'm begging, can we have a laugher, like one stinker? Because the Rangers are killing me right now. The Knicks were playing nonstop, heart attack finishes last week. I would kill to just be up 10 points at the end of a Knick game, to hold that 2-goal lead there. I think I scared my girlfriend's family so much. I was so nervous before.
Yeah, the Knicks were up 22, then they were down 11. I was watching that game. I was like, what the hell, man? This is crazy.
Yeah.
But they pulled it out and they moved on. And They start tomorrow night. And look, the Rangers, I mean, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. Carolina is not going to be an easy series. I know Little Ed picked the Rangers in 5. I love it. I love the confidence, but I expect this series to be a hard-fought 7-game series. I do not think it's going to be short. I would love to be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I would love to be wrong, but before we move on to end the episode, we got to talk about Ryan's comment here. Can we please talk about Laugh? So many people putting him down. I think his play has been absolutely unreal. It's playoff hockey, guys. I mean, Laugh isn't going to stick handle through 4 defenders and score a beautiful goal. He's dumping it in when he needs to. He's physical when he needs to. He made that nice deke in the corner, setting up a play. It almost led to a goal. I think Laugh's been fine. He's got no goals. I get it. He hit the post. He rang one off the post. But he's got 5 assists in 5 games. And I think he's been making all the right decisions. Where are you at with that, Nikki?
Yeah, especially this time of year, I think there are more things you can do in a game that go beyond the score sheet and the stats, the counting stats, that is, that can help win a game. And even in something as simple as in the first game against the Capitals, right? Let's go back to last round. Panarin scores the second goal the next shift after Rempe scores to make it a 2-0 lead in game number 1. The goal is set up not by a play by Lafreniere, but by him being aggressive. He throws a big hit in the corner. The puck is jarred loose. It comes to Vinny, who sets up Panarin. You have plays like that, doing the little things, being physical, throwing his weight around. He's playing well in his own zone. And then today, he's out high. He's making sure that they're set up to defend the lead at 3-2, and the puck comes to him and he hits the crossbar. So he almost gets a goal there. It's a little unlucky. But I wouldn't get caught up in the counting stats right now. I mean, I said it when the game ended. They don't ask how this time of year. They ask if you win the game. Doesn't matter how they win these games. Let's just get it done.
Yeah, and our boy Oscar from Oscar's Pro Stitch Hockey. Check him out at Oscar's PSH on Instagram. Check him out if you need a jersey. He makes the best jerseys. I got all my jerseys from him, other than the ones I got from China. And I don't wear the China ones anymore. They're in the closet. I got the Kovalev from Oscar. I got the Lundqvist. You guys have seen it posted. He's awesome, and he joined us. He was at the game. We had a live FaceTime with Oscar after the Rangers took a 4-2 lead. It was really exciting. So, Oscar, shout out to you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Gaza with the message here. Laugh has been improving this season, and hopefully he keeps improving throughout the playoffs. I see that. Yeah, Oscar says you're not supposed to admit those China ones. Oscar, I'm an honest guy, buddy. I am honest. I don't lie. All right. It's the law school in me. I got to tell
Oscar
the truth.
He's a true New Jerseyan like myself. He's got to bust on you as much as possible. And we got a comment, Tarabella222. That's my mom on Instagram. My mom has joined us. Laffy always contributes. I llove her.
Yes,
Great comment.
Shout
out, Mom.
He is fun to watch. Yeah, thanks, Mom, for joining. Mikey 150. You're a lawyer. You lie for a living. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't exactly say we lie for a living. It's bending the truth, Mikey. You take the facts and you twist them. Right? It's not lying. It's just twisting the facts. I'm getting reamed right now. Oscar, do you swear to tell the truth and all the truth? Jeez, guys, you're killing me here. But all right, Nikki, what are you looking for going into game 2? What do the Rangers got to be ready for? And what do the Rangers got to do in game 2 to go up 2-0 in this series?
I'm very excited for Tuesday. I'm actually headed to game 2. My father and I will be there, so looking forward to being in the building. Expectation, for my money, I think the Rangers need to play the same game over again. Stay aggressive, keep playing north-south, throw their weight around on the forecheck. Let's do that. Let's stick to what's been working for them so far in this entire postseason, no matter who they're playing. But I do think Carolina will probably make some adjustments. They will keep shooting the puck, though. That is kind of in their DNA. They don't change much, series to series, game to game. They're the same team that they are in a lot of ways when we played them in 2022 that they are now. But you got to be ready to defend the way the Rangers did. Let's not make it such a circus. Maybe at the end, it'd be nice if if we're up 2 goals, let's stay up 2 goals. But this is not gonna. They're not gonna go away. I picked this Rangers in 6. I agree with you. It's a long series. It's going to be a grueling series at times. So I agree with you on that, and I think they will battle back, and I'm sure Carolina will bring their best.
Yeah, I think game 2 is going to be a tough one for the Rangers. I think Carolina is going to feel the pressure. And, remember, last time these two teams played in 2022, Carolina won both games at home. They went up 2-0 in the series, and the Rangers won it in 7 games. It's a long series. This is not over. It's important to win the first game. Don't get me wrong. I'm very happy they won. It's better than losing it. But this is a long series, and the Rangers have to just take each game as it comes, make the right adjustments, and just be opportunistic. And they need their big guys to come through. And tonight they did. Mika Zibanejad, 2 goals and assists, and Artemi Panarin with the game-winning goal. I mean, what more can you ask for as a Ranger fan coming into this game than hearing that Mika Zibanejad with 3 points and Panarin, the game-winning goal? So Rangers win game 1, 4-3. We are up 1-0 in the series, boys. 11 more wins until a Stanley Cup. That's all we really care about. Gaza, it's not over until the Canes fans start crying. You are 100% right, buddy.
Especially the way they behave on Twitter.
Twitter is a cesspool with
It's
Canes
a cesspool,
fans.
man. It's brutal.
They're unbearable. They're unbearable. I'm getting reamed for being a lawyer, by the way. Mikey, 150. You're doing it right now, you liar. Gaza, lawyers cost me too much money, but I have a friend who is one. It's good to have a friend who's a lawyer. I bet I have a lot of friends who hit me up because I'm a lawyer. But it is what it is. Anyway, Nikki, thanks for joining us. Game 2. Boys, we will be back after game 1. Sorry. We will be back after game 2 on today's Sunday, right? Tuesday.
Yes. Tuesday
game
night.
2 on Tuesday. Tomorrow night, the Knicks. Tuesday, the Rangers will be back live after game 2. We'll talk some Rangers hockey and hopefully a 2-0 series lead. Let's see. Rangers win 4-3. Nikki, thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.
LGR.